Hello and welcome to Real Talk with Angry Soccer Mom. And I am angry. That is all I can say. I am angry indeed. Actually, tonight I'm especially angry because we're having serious technical problems. And I was so excited to get this to and get all the people who wanted to be on it live here. And we're having technical issues. So we'll get started and hopefully people will come on in and be able to join the show. So welcome to Real Talk with Angry Soccer Mom. And this week's discussion topics include anything you feel is newsworthy that has to do with racism, bigotry, and inequality in America. And that's pretty much everything at this point. I think it's pretty simple to say. So we will get started. I have, of course, a little rant to begin with. And then I would love anyone who's able to get in to join in real time. And the purpose of this show is to have people say what they think and talk in a heterogeneous setting about racism in America. And there's a lot to talk about. For white Americans, understanding our real racial history is a way to support a more honest discussion about how our past and present culture of systemic racism has caused all this divisiveness we have now. It's just plaguing our modern society. So the sooner we educate ourselves as white people, the better it's going to be for everybody. So, and
for some reason it's showing me on the channel.
Well, a lot of folks are getting ready for the holidays and the start of the new year. I've been doing some reflecting just about our nation and what's been going on, as I'm sure a lot have been doing. I'm just thinking about like where we've been, where we're at, and where we're going. And it's exciting. I mean, it's exciting because I want change just like everybody does. We have a president who has been, in my mind, I mean, I'll just, do a little commentary here while my engineer is trying to get everybody on board to be able to get in. Having a president who's openly racist and bigoted and misogynist and one who believes he truly knows more than our world's greatest scientists. It's been, I cannot imagine. If this is how I feel, I can't imagine how Black people feel, African Americans, indigenous people in historically marginalized groups. It's terrifying. It's been a nightmare. So seems like every policy Trump's come up with has been centered around harming our fellow humans. I'm going to state an opinion that a lot of people won't agree with, but it's how I feel. I truly believe that almost every policy he's come up with has been, to hurt people. And I think that a lot of his policies are tantamount to crimes against humanity. So, you might think, oh yeah, right. That's putting down real crimes against humanity, but these are supposed to be the people he's working for. I mean, these are psychological crimes, basically. What I'm talking about is a man who knowingly directs and targets certain groups of people just to try to take away their human and civil rights. It's sick. I mean, I think this is I've never been afraid of terrorists coming into our nation. I'm afraid of him. I mean, it's not the same as mass murder, but like a genocide or something, but it's the kind of thing that just keeps you on edge every minute of every second, imagining and wondering if maybe you or someone you love will be the next victim. So I'm going to be frank here. I consider the unstable and inhumane man in our White House to be a threat to national security, our democracy, and many, many people's pursuit of happiness. I'm not trying to be a drama queen, but this is pretty big. So I'm especially concerned about our nation's vulnerability to other nations as the legal fallout for Trump is played out in court. I mean, let me be more specific. Um, when someone really high up in a company or, a corporation who's really powerful, we'll call that corporation America, is being prosecuted for something. And, you know, usually you kind of like fire them and get them out. They are escorted out, kind of like the movies. Well, my biggest concern for our nation right now, and this is just kind of what I'm thinking, is he might try to take down the company with him, and the company happens to be us, America. So I just think this whole thing's, it's kind of unprecedented. So it's a little bit scary to say the least. I truly believe he has mental illness and he cannot help, So I guess my bottom line is I sure as heck hope that the checks and balances are going to be working, because if not, we're in lots of trouble. So I am hoping that people will start jumping on and commenting. And my engineer has informed me that things are going okay. Thank you. And one thing that's certain right now is that we have Jerome. Hello. Hello. Thank you for being here. We have a divided nation with approximately 1/3 of this country, in my very, outgoing, very white woman opinion, doesn't fully support the preamble of our Constitution. And when it talks about establishing justice, ensuring domestic tranquility, providing for the common defense, promoting the general welfare, I got to say, not happening. Oh, somebody's asking me, are you able to stream both on YouTube and Facebook? Good question. Right now, we are not. This is my first time trying to stream on YouTube. So I have my very hardworking engineer who is trying to get this going. And then, of course, I will share it all over Facebook, because I want to know what you guys think. So we're in some very, very tenuous times here. So part of the thing is, when we say Trump this, Trump that, the bottom line is, even when he goes away, the supporters that wanted him and the people who support him still are going to be there. So I'm going to say we have a problem. So I think part of it is that, let me see if anyone's saying, if you're here, go ahead and say hello, so I'll know you're here. This is a little bit different because we're streaming on YouTube for the first time, but I'm super excited about it. And I think it's going to work out, hopefully, for the best in the end. So bear with me. White America today has no idea how barbaric, and I'm just talking in general. Oh, Jerome, Trump is a mob boss and not a very good one. I think that's pretty accurate. I think so too. I definitely think that this is just surreal. The whole thing's really surreal. I just feel sick about my brothers and sisters of color and other people in historically marginalized groups. We have a person who's basically making terrorist threats, as far as I'm concerned, continuously. And it's terrifying, and definitely has done one thing, is opened up the truth to a lot of people who were very happily in denial. So that's one thing. But I got to say, if white America could understand the truth about our barbaric racial history and how wealth accumulation has been denied for centuries to so many people, And it was purposeful through legal means, absolutely purposeful, through redlining and sundown towns and black codes, Jim Crow laws. I mean, we allowed vigilante justice, hate groups to do horrible things and get away with it. So white America over the centuries, we are responsible for all the things that people of color and Black people and indigenous and African Americans have faced in not allowing them to accumulate wealth and keeping them essentially from the American dream. And some superstars have made it, but you shouldn't have to be a superstar. Liberty and justice is supposed to be for everybody. So I am happy to talk about anything. Shan, hello, welcome to the first time on YouTube trying to stream. And let me tell you, it was a nightmare, but thank you for being here. Jerome, a big problem with racism in this country is the fact that racists don't think they're racist. Yes, and that is a Victoria, hello. There has to be some healing and atonement. And yeah, well, I'm going to go back to Jerome. Jerome, absolutely. And in fact, some of the other shows that we've done, we've talked extensively about how calling a white person racist is pretty much the worst thing you could ever do on the planet. It's just brings out the defensive, everything. And it is so sad because people actually come to me and say, oh, you just feel guilty. And I feel kind of bad about it, but I don't feel guilty. I'm mad. I'm angry. This is not the way our nation's supposed to be. We're not supposed to be living a lie. White people, we're not saviors, but for God's sakes, it wouldn't kill us to get on board and actually give a shit. I mean, I'm just kind of real about this. Let me see. Okay, so yeah, the denial is real, Jerome. I guess that's what I'm saying. Victoria, there has to be some atonement and healing. And part of that's absolutely a valid point, Victoria. Part of the problem with atonement and healing is, in my mind, and tell me what you guys think of this, but when you have to atone and heal, you have to stop doing it first. It's like a spouse, who is abusive to the person they're supposed to be good to, punching them in the, smacking them in the face and saying, forgive me. Well, how can you forgive and heal when we're still doing it? So let me just look over here. Shan, you were so right. My girlfriend is a social worker and she says the same thing all the time. She's also a Caucasian female. Yeah, it's a toughie. Thank you for that. Oh, let me see who's here. Shan, you're a real human being. It's not about being guilty. It's not about being guilty. Is you're real. Yeah. See, here's the thing. I'm trying to. This is kind of my take on that, Shan. And thank you. This is an excellent topic for sure. I don't think white Americans need to be saviors. That ship has sailed. That's yesterday's news centuries ago. It's way too late for that. People of color and people in historically marginalized groups and Black people and African Americans and indigenous people, they're saving themselves. And I have no doubt they will save themselves. But God forbid white America actually helps. I mean, it's crazy. The way I describe it, and I've described this a ton to people, it's like if you see someone struggling to swim in a pool, you don't walk by just because you didn't shove them in. You don't walk by just because you didn't build a freaking pool. I mean, that's not right. So why don't we just get born into this society that's filled with systemic racism and just go, yeah, it's cool. We're into it. It's like, no, we can't accept this kind of thing. We're better than this. We got to be better than this. So let me get some comments here. Trying to figure out how to do all this, so bear with me, please. Scrolling up here. Let me just get this. Maybe I can. Trying to. Oh, there we go. Now it's Now it's scrolling a little bit. Give me 1 second. I apologize. Oh, it's not scrollable. I guess one more comment and I'll be able to scroll it. Okay. Jamie. Hi, Kim. It's Jamie. I've been blocked by Facebook because I answered back to a hate racist speech. Now I'm blocked for 27 days. Please call me on my... Oh, yes, absolutely. I thank you. I will. Lakeisha, hello. Thanks for being here. This is my first try on YouTube, which I hope isn't going to be a total fail. It was a lot harder to get on than I thought it would be. Shan. Oh, my name is Sean. I'm sorry for not letting you know that. Oh, Sean. Okay, for some reason it says Shan. I will call you Sean. Thank you. Hello, MJ. Oh, thank you for being here. Jerome, I'm literally surrounded by racists here in my apartment building in Brandon, Vermont. I've been assaulted 3 times. Wow. Oh my God. I'm so sorry. I've been assaulted 3 times, twice in one day by females, and the housing trust. Let me just see what I can do here. And the housing trust does nothing. Oh my God. I am so sorry. And when you say, tell me more, when you say assaulted, like because they think you're going to do something, or Neil, hello. Thanks for being here. Oh, now I'm learning to scroll. Thank you, guys. Just bear with me here. Bear with me. I'm not going to really know who some people are because they have their names. So I will try to figure this out. It's been a learning experience, that's for sure. But thank you so much for being here. This is just so important. Let me start reading some people's comments. Mr. SF Black. First, white America has got to get over their white fragility. Oh, hell yes. Only when they will truly acknowledge white privilege exists and hopefully tear down the system of white supremacy. Absolutely. The biggest thing is white privilege has been made into this dirty word. It's a fact. It's not meant to be a dirty word. It's a fact of being born into a society that was built purposefully on white supremacy. So absolutely. My big thing is the reason I like to do these kind of shows and just I do interviews with people, I do my YouTube channel, I do communities online is because I want to be part of the solution. I want to use my privilege to help because white folks aren't going to be saviors, but my God, at least we could care. So yeah, absolutely. White privilege wasn't meant to be a dirty word. It was taken, it was taken from academia because it's a fact. But in this day and age of fake information and people not doing their own research, it's become, what it is. Let me see. Oh, Lakeisha, I've been under the weather and I have an abscess. Oh, I'm sorry. So you're not feeling so great. Oh my gosh. Jerome, I feel my life is in danger every day. One of these women actually brought 2 men here to assault me. Oh my God. I went outside to confront them, and Karen, my wife, called the police and I'm out of answers. Oh my God. Well, definitely let's talk later after this show because this is not right. This is no way to live. I know this was always like this, but Trump's emboldened people to a very dangerous extent. It's pretty terrifying. I'm going to try to just see if I can learn to scroll here a little bit more. Stevie, hello. Thank you for being here. And thank you so much for everybody for being here and participating. I'm hoping I'm still learning, so bear with me. I wanted to get back to, there's so much to talk about. And what I want for this show is for you all to talk about what you want to talk about. I have a few things planned, but while I'm doing that, I'd love for you to start writing. What do you want to talk about? What matters to you? Because what matters to you is what matters. So I will, I'm going to follow my, I have an outline, but I want to know what you think. So chime in. There's no wrong answers. I tend to repeat myself over and over again, but it's because My main goal is to get to white America. White America needs to take some racial responsibility. It is way past time. And I, for one, am not going to just say, I'll let someone else, there's probably people who are more gifted and, better at this, but I'm going for it. Heck, worst case, I'm embarrassed a little bit, but you know what? It's not about me. I'll live. There are people who won't because of this sick systemic racism and white supremacy. And that's all I need to hear. Some people are saying stuff. Black people, blah, blah, blah. Black people are being made to tiptoe around the issue of racism for white America's comfort. Mr. S. Black, absolutely. And you know what? I've actually said to, and I shouldn't even say this, I've said to a few of my friends, and I know this is going to sound horrifically arrogant, good friends who are, a Black friend or whatever, who's very, very close. I said, I'm watching you. And, over time, I'm watching you basically try to make comfortable these white people. You don't have to do that. Why do you do that? I'm sorry. It's not the responsibility of people who have been systemically oppressed and marginalized to make the oppressor comfortable. I don't mean to be mean, but that's ridiculous. It's not you don't have to do that. I'll just say it. We have a white problem in America. Okay. We have a problem. It's a white problem. White people need to stop and educate themselves. And that's why I am pretty much obsessed with, also I'm a teacher, so I kind of like educating anyway, but I'm obsessed with teaching white America. We got this. Come on. You can lower your defenses and we got this. You can do it. So let me take some more. The tiptoe, it's not right. This is not a way to live. Tammy, oh, wow, I agree. Jerome, I wonder where we go as a nation from here. Well, that's what we're going to talk about tonight a little bit. Oh, Sean, yes, you're driving home. The chat's still going. Oh, thank you. Yeah. Oh, I keep blabbing. I like that. Okay. Tammy, my concern is that I know God is watching me and I'm not worried about crazy, immature humans. Yeah, so Tammy, are you saying, and I don't want to speak for you, are you saying like you're not quite as on edge because you kind of have this confidence about you, kind of like that you think it's all going to work out maybe? And I don't want to speak for you. I'm just kind of asking. Let me see. Oh, Victoria. What bothers me the most is the injustice within the judicial system. Yes, that's. Oh, hello. Someone said, hello, Mom. RGF Town 1. Thanks for being here. And I'm going to get everyone's names down. I just appreciate everyone supporting what I'm trying to do. And these end up going out to everywhere I can send them. And what happens is people who need to see them end up seeing them. So I appreciate you sharing and just trying to spread the word because it's way past time. White Americans started taking some racial responsibility. We're not saviors, but my God, we need to care and we need to educate ourselves. Let me just see here. Yeah, Victoria, the injustice in the system, absolutely. And I don't know how you guys all feel, but part of it is I'm a little weirded out by him. I mean, it's so past time for us to just completely deconstruct this sick system. And the criminal justice system is, I can't think of, we did a show on this and it needs to be completely dismantled. These systems weren't made for anyone but white elites and white people who have money. That's the hardest part to just fathom. They weren't made to be good to everybody in a nation that boasts we should be good to everybody. So, I mean, this is unbelievable. In the criminal justice system, I'm thrilled Trump wants to revamp it. But I don't believe what he says about anything. So let me get back to people. Okay. Oh, grade 8. My daughter is a member of the Black Panthers Party Club out of Chicago. They believe there has to be a revolution, and a violent one, but one of the minds of all people. Yeah, Grady, that's a really good point. Sometimes, I don't know, who else thinks that? I'll speak to that, and hopefully it's kind of hard the way we're doing it now because we have a lot of people with comments, but it's definitely passed my mind a number of times over the years and years. The problem is, in my mind, what I was going to talk about right now is that the wealthiest elites who run our nation have fooled the white masses into believing that all of our problems are due to people in historically marginalized groups. And when the truth is, all of our problems are due to them and to the very, very ignorant people that can't open a book or tap a keyboard and research and learn. And that's why I'm kind of obsessive about educating white people. Because once you know the truth, you have to kind of revamp your whole thinking. And you can't go back. It's like riding first class. You can't go back to not knowing when you hear the truth about our racial history. So, and I run a couple groups I run one specific group that is for very, very fragile white people. And I know that's frowned upon, but there was a niche, a gap in what I saw online. People who were just really, really sensitive, but wanted to learn and were afraid to go out onto the open internet. And so I started a closed group for not to make it white centered, because people in the group teach. The people who are educated in the group, who are in the historically marginalized groups, it's not just for people of color, it's for every single solitary group that's historically marginalized, and to unite them together. For example, some people have never spoken to a real live Muslim American. Well, in this group, we do. Some people have never talked to a person who's transgender. In this group, we do. So that's what that group's about. And everybody teaches and everybody learns. So it's definitely not for everybody. But let me go on. Levi, hello. Thank you for being here. Let me find my spot right here. And thanks for bearing with me. This is my first time on YouTube streaming. And let me tell you, it's been a nightmare. But thank you so much for being here. Anastasia Doctor, I'm here. Hello. Trump signed Trump signed the prison reform bill to score points with the incoming Democratic. Yeah, that's exactly what I thought too. He's basically shitting in his britches. I mean, he's got to be. Sorry, kind of a gross expression, but I like to keep it real. He is probably so out of control right now. I mean, he's a man who isn't used to not having his way. I don't think anyone's ever said no to him. So this is going to be really interesting. Let me take some other. Cynthia, hello. Thank you so much. Oh, you mean our money? Oh, yeah. Lakeisha, are you saying? Yeah. Okay, I gotcha. I think I know what you're saying. I want to make sure I didn't skip anybody. Totally appreciate you too. Thank you. There we go. Thank you, Tammy. Thanks. Yeah, Jerome, I think absolutely he's got to be panicking. I mean, he's not a stable man. Like, I need to tell you that. Tell me what you mean. I'm not sure what you were referencing, Lakeisha, with the money. You mean he just tell me more, because I want to follow up on that. And Anastasia, we can't have a revolution. We don't feed ourselves. We don't make weapons or etc. We got to have survival programs first. Okay, I think, yeah, see, back to the revolution comment, which is, I don't think that these wealthy elites are going to give up their power too easily. I mean, and that's like the understatement of the century. They like how things have been going. They don't want the masses to get educated. if they did, we'd have compulsory education, preschool through 12th grade, in every single solitary public school in the United States, teaching anti-racism, teaching everything that there is to know. In the groups that I run, we get white people who are really, really, I mean, they're racist as hell, but something in them just says like they want to, like, check it out maybe. And through a long, laborious process, I've seen amazing things. Not everyone's ready. They leave, and it's really sad. But you guys, laws aren't going to change a person's heart. The laws are great, but people work around them. They're evil. I mean, they work around them. It's this fear. It's total insanity. I don't really get it, but let me see here. But yeah, there's a good chance they're not going down without, I don't know. Okay, I'll just say what I think about that. It's like the Civil War never ended. We never had any type of facing of the truth. When they pulled out the troops, the Compromise of 1877, it's like they left people for dead. I mean, literally. That was what they wanted, the South wanted. And people haven't been educated. I don't see how healing can happen. And the white elites who are running our nation keep spewing out. I mean, Reagan's welfare queen. It wasn't even a black person. It was a white person, but he didn't have to say a word because everyone assumed it was a black person. I mean, this is ridiculous. The white supremacy and racism it's out of control. Let me see here. Where am I? Yeah, Anastasia, I hope I represented what you said. If not, jump in and say something. Let me see here. This thing, the scrolling, I'm gonna have to get used to this. Mentoring 42. People with different political views are quickly attacked with childish labels, such as troll and other nonsense, instead of openly communicating in order to understand one another. Yeah, absolutely. And part of that is, I have to believe part of that is purposely done. I've learned a lot about propaganda over the last 3 years, and people want to slap me for saying this, but North Korea has something on us, but not too much with the propaganda. We do some serious propaganda in this nation, and it's destroying us. I mean, people don't even know what's real, and but yeah, that's a good point. Very good point. Anastasia, Trump is doing prison reform because he's about to go to. That's what I said. Thank you. I actually did a post on that, and thank you. Yes, yeah. He's like, the way I look at it, he's so narcissistic. He's probably like, I got to do something quick because I'm going to be there. So let's let everyone who maybe did this crime. It's all about him. Let me see. That's exactly what I thought. Soldier Dad, we love you. Come back to Facebook. Oh, thank you, Cynthia. But Obama had a prison bill prior. Yes, and that's what the strangest thing is. This is like a game. They wouldn't allow Obama's bill, Cynthia. They wouldn't allow it to go through. This is some sick stuff. They're not. I always say I'm a humanist. I'm not into politics because I really am not. Politics to me means manipulating and doing rotten things to our fellow humans. Being a humanist is, I just want to do what's right and good for everybody. And this is America. Let's get some liberty and justice for all. I can't stand living the lie. As a white person, I can't stand living the lie. It's haunting. It's haunting. And I see my friends every day being harmed by it. It's disgusting. Yeah, and you know what? I want to see anyone pass the prison bill, Cynthia, but I'm like, this is just a little weird having him. I don't know what he's doing other than just trying to kiss ass to the new Congress. But what do you guys think? Levi, millions of whites are willfully ignorant. Sadly, they'll never change their ways. I'm glad you're so optimistic. Keep fighting the good fight. White people, most of them have bigotry in their DNA. You know what, Levi? A lot of people, I've heard that before, and I don't get it. I will go to my grave not understanding it. I don't understand how people do this. And I have implicit bias, absolutely. I mean, are you kidding me? I was raised in this society. You're born into it, and boy, do they push it. Like I said in one of my videos on YouTube, I used to sneak down when I was a little kid, and I'd look at the TV, and I'd see black men in handcuffs with these things over their eyes. I was like 3 years old. I didn't know, but that's how you condition people. And it was like the 11 o'clock news in California. It was showing what they used to do. And I'm really old, so this is a while ago, but they used to literally show people of color, black, mostly like black, African-American, indigenous people getting cuffed. It was like a parade, and I didn't know I was little. So the DNA thing, I've heard people say that, and honestly, I don't blame them. I don't blame them. So, but you know what? If I get to one person, then I've done something. I'm not in a fantasy. I'm not anyone's savior. I can't get these white people to care, but I'm sure as hell going to try, because that's what I want someone to do for me, is at least try. I mean, I'm not here that long, you know. While we're here, we should at least take care of our fellow brothers and sisters. You know, it's just. Let me see. Let me see. Let me see. Oh, wow, I'm skipping people. Anthony, I think we need to learn to get to know and understand and love each other. Anthony, absolutely. And when I run seminars for white folks, I'm not mean to them. I'm 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 trying to teach them, because ultimately it's in their best interest to, I mean, they don't realize they're working against their own best interest by remaining ignorant, and people can change. I've seen it. And if I hadn't seen it, I would probably be thinking no, but I've seen white people change. Um, it's a process. Let me just to make clear for a lot of people who I haven't seen before, or at least I don't recognize, are here tonight, which I'm really thrilled about. But I truly believe, you know, and if you've seen any of my videos, my philosophy is that for white people, it's a lifelong process. I will never be woke. I will continuously strive to be woke. And taking my last breath, I will still be striving. And I can learn vicariously. I can talk to thousands and thousands of people who tell me their stories, their opinions, what they think, how they feel. But the truth is, I will never be a person of color in America. And I will never be a person in a historically marginalized group in America. And it is my place to just I learn something new every day, and it's some scary shit. That's all I can say. Sorry. Let me keep back to the people here. Cynthia, Trump is simply undoing Obama's everything and piecemealing partials back to favor him. People have, yeah, it's literally, the man is obsessed. I mean, don't hate me for this. I mean, Obama was amazing in so many ways. Of course he's jealous of him, because even though everyone's like, oh, Trump's so rich, he's the poorest person I have ever known about. You'll never know what it feels like to be a good person. And, you know, it's not something that, you know, is a tangible thing, but of course he's trying to undo everything that Obama tried to do. He's seethingly jealous because Obama is everything he could never be. And I know a lot of people are hard on Obama, and they, you know, President Obama, and they have things, but I don't think anyone can fight the fact that he's still alive. He is a very, very good person, and like just overall. And that's just my take, but what do you guys think? He's awful. He's really bad. Mr. S.F. Black. For every president, I've suspected they've never had an intention of doing anything for the Black community outside of tossing us some scraps. With Trump, I suspect he might not even get the scraps. Oh, that's, yeah. Well, yeah, part of the thing is, if you look at his history, the first thing I learned about Trump, because I never followed his little shows because I'm not into, it's not my thing. I'm not interested in people who want to be rotten to people and fire them. And I don't know. He seemed like an arrogant rich guy to me, and I'm not into it. But the first thing I learned is what he did to the Central Park Five. I mean, this was years ago I learned this, and I was like, oh my God, what a sicko. So yeah, he scraps, like even when he tried to reopen up the Emmett Till case, I was like, what's he doing? What's he doing? I can always tell when Trump's lying. Always. Because it's every freaking time he opens his mouth. So I'm not trying to be funny here. It's truth. But you see. But yeah, I know what you mean. Anastasia. That's why they will have the uneducated white racists to fight for them like they did in the Civil War. And even now we have the white and the poor that vote and fight against their own interests. Anastasia, absolutely. Absolutely. They are fighting against their own best interest. I'm telling you, you guys are getting me like really right. I'm so excited to see everybody here tonight. I am just, he had them at racist. The minute the white masses, middle class America, or, economically impoverished America, white people, the minute they found out this guy's really racist, that was it. He had them at racism. I can't understand any other reason why, because it doesn't matter what he does. They support him. That's just kind of my take. Let me see. Lakeisha, white people with money with money is my money, just like redlining neighborhoods to keep Black people from owning a home in this country. Yeah. Part of, Lakeisha, right. Okay. I get what you're saying. Like I was saying earlier, and like a lot of people already are well aware of, what America has done is essentially, through our white supremacy, how it's evolved is through redlining and through all that stuff, we've made it virtually impossible for non-white people to accumulate wealth. And that's how we work here in this nice democratic republic. And it's like, instead of realizing this and learning, we caused inner city poverty. We caused all this. White people did this. And I personally didn't do it, but I'm a white people, I guess. And so I need to educate myself and take some freaking responsibility. I mean, my God, it's like, we did this. Why would we be born into this and just go with the status quo? So, but yeah, I understand. Lakeisha, thanks for clarifying that. Jerome, whenever African Americans try to start their own communities' economic infrastructure in the past, they've been absolute. Yep. Black Wall Street. Yep. They've been, Jerome, infrastructure in the past that they've either been murdered or their cities were burned to the ground. And that is not an accident. It's absolutely, if you read Michelle Alexander's The New Jim Crow, it's like this. Whenever, exactly just what you said. Yep. It's true. And that's something that white folks need to understand, is this is on purpose. The system isn't broken. It was built this way. It's working perfectly fine. And that's why it needs to be dismantled. So anyway, sorry, I'm like preaching here. Let me see. Oh, Cynthia, an anti-lynching amendment has just been proposed this week. Wow, a couple centuries too late, but wow, I did not read that. Cynthia, tell us more. Tell us more about that. I didn't catch that, but it's crazy stuff. But thank you, Cynthia. You are like a wealth of knowledge. Thank you. H. Grant 4630. I disagree. There are people who are sincere in their bigotry and hatred of others. They say things that need to be corrected immediately. It's not that they're trolling, they're stupid. So you're disagreeing with something early. Clarify that. What you're disagreeing with? What are you disagreeing with? Not 100% sure, because I mean, there are all types. When I'm trying to think of the people that I most deal with, when the people come into the communities that I help to run with, I mean, I basically oversee them. The people run the communities. The people in historically marginalized groups, they're the ones who run it. I just kind of like, make sure everyone's like behaving and, take kind of learn from everything. But yeah, we don't let people in we actually screen everybody, because if you're too far, if you're a white person, or if you're anti-LGBTQ, or if you're in this one particular group, or you're really, really anti-Muslim, if you're like off the charts, we can't help, because you got to be willing to want to kind of learn. So I don't really deal with the extremists unless I do an interview of former extremists. But anyway, I want to keep going here. So definitely tell me what you mean by that. Prison reform. Yes, it's heartbreaking. I have so many friends who have been wrongly, the whole thing, the whole not being able to get bail, people sitting in jails when they haven't had a trial. This is liberty and justice for all. You got me fooled. Mentoring 42. How can we unify in order to fight back the oligarchs and the dirty politicians they support if people believe in conspiracy theories instead of doing research and by not watching corporate media? That is a fantastic question. And that's why I'm rather obsessed with education, because we're not going to get it from top down, because the people running our most, they're the people who are doing this. So we're not going to get it from top down. It's going to have to be bottom up education. People like us right now. This is just my, very kind of obnoxiously arrogant white opinion. It's going to have to be from people who care. Bottom up, grassroots, educate. The more people, I don't care what skin tone they are, what melanin, activity is in their body. Everybody and anybody who cares needs to, in my opinion, white folks need to teach other white folks. It is not the responsibility of people of color or Black people or Indigenous people or African Americans to teach the oppressor. This is on us. So I'm all about education, and it's a slow process. If it were coming from top down, in a generation we could. I don't know. I'm kind of optimistic, I guess. But let me see. That's a great question. H. Grant 4630. They claim to love others, but they're only full of love for themselves and those who are like them. The media and the entertainment industry has made non-whites appear to be non-whites appear to be evil and threatening. Absolutely. It's completely part of the vilification. Absolutely. And dehumanization. Because, see, they're not really like us. And I'll tell you, it's worldwide, as you know. Absolutely fantastic point. Cynthia. Whoa, this just scrolled. Let me just go back. I got to stop talking and start reading here, because I am behind. Goodness gracious. Let me see here. Bear with me, please. Cynthia, we are so far from justice. Martin, hi, Martin. Thanks for being here. You made it back. Thank you. You are a wonderful warrior, Martin. Thank you. Anthony, your words touch the minds of many. Never ever. Oh, thank you. Thank you. I'm actually shy. I know that sounds really crazy. How profoundly I feel strongly about this is what's gotten me to go, Kim, it's not about you. Worst case, I humiliate myself in front of people. I'll live. Like I said before, there are people who won't. But thank you. It's really sweet of you. I can't lose my place here. H grant. If it's not white, it's not right, according to them. That's the downfall of this country. Yeah, we're brainwashed. I don't get it. Good point. Yeah, it's unbelievable. H grant. I'll tell you how they do it. They have a rebellious belief. Their religion tells them they're superior, and they believe it. Yeah, I don't even get that's a really good point, because here's the thing. How do you like believe something that you know? Okay, so you like, it's kind of like your split personality. You know you're full of shit. You know no one's superior. That's ridiculous. Yet you believe that, and so you tell. I don't really get how that works, but I don't know. I don't know how that works. It's a very strange thing, because they have to know they're full of it. But Lakeisha, child abuse. Yes, absolutely. I mean, I'm all for this, freedom stuff, but it is child abuse to raise. I was talking to someone once. I said, to raise a child, to not raise a child of the global world that could get along anywhere, any place, who gets it, is seriously child abuse. It really is, because either we're going to self-destruct this world, or we're going to all come together. And why don't people understand? We're all sisters and brothers. We're on this planet for such a small amount of time. It's insignificant. Why not be good to each other? Well, we're here. I don't get it. But I don't get it. H grant. The TV show Cops was one of the worst things to happen to Black Americans. Yeah, they showed the worst of us in being representative. Yeah, representative of all of us. Yeah, it was wrong then, and it's wrong. Absolutely. It cannot be shown in a society that's based on white supremacy. People just aren't willing, or maybe they're incapable of doing deep analysis, and maybe they're incapable of doing self-analysis. You have to build it. As a white person, I don't speak for white people, but I speak to them. But I can say, you do have to be able to take a couple slices of humble pie, maybe the whole damn pie, and drop your ego. And you have to do that repeatedly in the process throughout your life. And clearly it's not something people are willing to do in general. Let me see. Oh, Anthony. Anthony, you're embarrassing me. Thank you. I am old. It's camera angle. Thank you. Very sweet. Thank you. Very sweet. Cynthia. He's absolutely building more prisons because there's some money. Yeah, well, he's obsessed with money, right? Absolutely, Cynthia. In there somewhere, everything that he proposes means that his family, his cronies, all benefit. So I'm waiting for the other shoe to drop. I think absolutely. He's greed and money obsessed. And I don't like to stereotype, but that's our culture. Greed over humanity, money over people, wealth over feelings. And it's disgusting. Very good. Martin, we need to accept the others unconditionally. What the eye sees is the weakest proof of character. You know what, Martin? I always wished that when I was a little kid, I always wished that people could only see someone's heart. And I know this sounds like mushy and gushy, and you can like want to slap me, but you can't. Sorry. If you could see someone's heart, it wouldn't matter what they looked like. And people would just get it. And that's kind of why I never look at profile pics. which has gotten me into some trouble. My friend Tracy, okay, I thought it was a girl for like, I thought he was a woman for 6 months, but we're over that. But yeah, I don't look because it doesn't matter to me what they look like. I'm not going to say something different. I'm not going to treat them differently. So, but yeah, I wish, Martin, Cynthia, this country can't continue at the pace that Trump's placing us in. Absolutely. Yeah, this is, I mean, I have friends who don't want to leave their house. So, I mean, this is not good. Let me try to get through. Yeah, Trump is morally destitute. Oh, yeah. That's a very nice way to put it. I don't like to name call, but I have found myself that he's a horrible excuse for a human being. He's cruel. But yeah, I could say that again. Victoria, even if you don't reach but one white person, you contribute to giving minorities. Oh, thank you, Victoria. You help minimize my rage, anxiety, and stress because racism is taxing. Thank you. That makes me feel so good because I want to. I mean, obviously, I'm no one's savior, but if I can help anyone just somehow make it through this, I don't know how people make it through this. Because, I mean, I'm white and I'm just like, I can't imagine. I cannot imagine. Thank you. That's very sweet. And I can't stop because I never need to be thanked. I'm selfish. I do this for me. And thank God my family supports me because I can't stand living a lie like this. I can't stand it. And that's just my thing. So it's actually kind of selfish because I just blah. Let me see. I lost my spot. Soldier Dad. He is poor morally and ethically. He wishes he was Obama. I'm not trying to be rude and like mean, but Obama is everything he could never be. Is that's why he's the poorest rich person I've ever heard of. And I say, doctor, we aren't that different from North Korea. We have people starving and propaganda, and we have a dictatorship, and we live in an oligarchy before. Yes, yeah. The only difference is the degrees with the gulags and the only different. Listen to me like I'm some sort of expert. I know a little bit about North Korea because I used to work for a company that actually, it's an amazing, and I will definitely put it in the notes to this, an amazing organization that takes people who escape and they cross, and it's completely legit, cross into China, and they take them to safe houses, and they try to debrief them. And so I've learned a ton. Anyone who wants to know about that, I would love to tell you. But yeah, I mean, the only difference, one of the big differences is their degree. They literally use food as a weapon against the people. And I won't get into it, but I know a little too much about that. But yep. But honestly, like, we are always looking at like, this country bribes. Oh, that country bribes. Oh, it's so awful. We bribe. We just call it lobbying. We are starving people. We just call it, basically being rotten to our own people. It's like, we need, screw the wall. We need a mirror, a giant, giant mirror, so we can see ourselves. And not because I don't love America, but because I love America. And we have to be better than this. We just have to be better than this, you guys. This can't be it. Let me see. But yeah, good anesthesia doctor, good point. Anthony, a full rich life is not based on money, it's based on love. And Anthony, I completely agree. But unfortunately, in this country, you do need a little money to just, here's the thing for me. And I know what you're saying, Anthony. I really do. And I absolutely agree. But there's a certain subsistence level that we need to have. Our nation's a wealthy nation. We can afford to allow everybody to have health services. It shouldn't be a privilege to have the best medical treatment available. It shouldn't be a privilege of the elite. It shouldn't be a privilege to have food. We have enough food. We have enough money. We just don't want to spread it around. And that's, I mean, it's our culture. I mean, it's white supremacy. But yeah, absolutely. Cynthia, he is completely and blissfully ignorant. Trump, yeah, he's like a child. He doesn't even, Cynthia, he doesn't even know. H. Grant, hello. I was just about to say, yeah, every time he opens his mouth, he spews BS. Yeah, totally. Yep, sadly. Soldier Dad, everything Trump does is so he can be well liked. It's all about the ratings, and Obama was always well liked, and that's why he's yes. Also, I think to be honest, I am not a psychiatrist by any means, but I think he I'm guessing, and please don't take this the wrong way. I think he has personality disorder, and part of the narcissism, he's so fragile that that's just my little, like, that'll be $10, please. I don't know. But anyway, yeah, it's all about him. Martin, everything that comes out of Trump's mouth is an accusation, and that's what he is actually guilty of. Yes, it's like, talk about, oh my gosh, I just wrote a post on that. It was like, he's kind of like admitting who he is. He accuses you of what he's doing. It's a very strange dynamic, but I guess that's what he does. Psych 101. Yep. Thanks. But still, it's you can't believe it, because you're like, you're the president. I mean, I know like four-year-olds who know not to. I won't get into it. Cynthia, the bankruptcy, and yes, the falsely accused Central Park. Oh, yeah. And then when they came out and they were finally freed, he had the nerve. I don't know if you guys saw that little press conference. Disgusting. It was disgusting how I just hope that those guys are rolling in money, because what he did to them, the first thing I ever learned about Trump is what he did to them. Anastasia. Or when he pardoned Jack Jackson. Why worry about him now when we have people in jail that are innocent now? Let's live in the now. He is all about show. Absolutely. He's all about show. H. Grant, my disagreement was about the guy who complained that they're accused of trolling when they say something different. Oh, okay. Okay, I got it. Yeah, I mean, it depends where, if you're on open internet or right, but absolutely, I understand that. Yeah. I mean, I think people are sick of this stuff, and you can tell by the classic stuff that people say that whether or not they're just not gonna, just whether or not. But yeah, I got that. Let me see. All right. Let me see. Cynthia. Let me just, you know what? I'm going to just do the unthinkable. Hey guys, I'm on live. Can you keep it down? Sorry. They're all freaking now. Let me see. Where was I? This is definitely an experiment tonight, and I just so appreciate everybody being here, because I've never been on YouTube live streaming like this. And thank you for, taking the time out of your life to care. I'm going to try to get through, because it's getting late, and I have got to nothing that I prepped, which is what I want, because I want to hear about what you have to say. But let me just try to get through some of these, because I know people are probably getting very tired, because it's getting late. Blah, blah, blah. Where am I? Oh goodness. Let me see here. Jerome, most trolls are racist and extremely far right. Yeah, I mean, they come on to screw with you. They do come on. I had a group actually, and I took it as a compliment. It did hurt my feelings, but I lived. I had a group of some YouTube dude who, honestly, I don't even think he's from the US, took one of my videos and tore it apart. But the whole thing, for an hour, it's like, dang, that's kind of, I don't know, find that obsessive. Like, why not do something good for the world? Why try to harm people who are trying to help? Do something nice. But anyway, he did it for an hour. And I honestly haven't watched the whole thing because it was just crude and disgusting. But the whole time he was just putting me down. He wasn't saying anything. Like, if someone's going to be evil like that, at least have some points. But he was just saying, like, he was saying really gross things. I can't repeat it, but yeah, he didn't have points. So it's like, bummer. I mean, when somebody has no points, it's okay. I think people kind of know. They say things that's just way out there and it needs to be corrected. Yeah. And honestly, I think white people need to do it. And if we're talking about racism, it's bad enough that people in historically marginalized groups, people of color, people who are Black, people who are indigenous, people who are brown, have to deal with this every day. But to come online and deal with this bullshit, I just, I don't know how anyone does it. And it's not fair. White people, we did this. We need to be part of the solution to help, not lead, help. So let's just, let me get, okay, it's true, Jerome. They say things that, yeah, okay. Cynthia, okay. I caught it on NPR radio. 3 Black senators have gotten together and they pushed the anti-lynching law. Oh, I saw that. I did see that. You sparked my memory. Okay, I did see that. It was a while ago. Maybe I'm wrong. And although it's been 100 years since the original one, but there have been no changes to it. It is, Cynthia, it is as of Trump being president, there has been several Black, yes, there have been several, Cynthia, there absolutely, and some really strange stuff about lynchings and really disgusting, like saying people, a Black man lynched himself for, as suicide. I'm sorry, that just doesn't make sense. I won't get into stuff I don't really know a lot about, but there's some really, really edgy stuff going on about that can't be true. I mean, it all leads back to our criminal justice system, our system of police. We have dismantled. Let me get to comments here, but yes, Cynthia, absolutely. I now kind of remember what you're saying. Anastasia, they bombed the MOVE organization in 1985 in Philly, so it's not that far in the past that whenever a Black community is thriving, they destroy it under false pretenses. Absolutely. It's always the fragile white woman who just, her sensitivities are, it's like, sometimes I feel like we haven't even moved on. It's really frustrating. But yeah, makes me sad. Martin, we need to reform everything. Definitely, we need to reform everything. We've been in the Republican corporatism for 40 years now, and it's killing our society off. Yep. Yep. Cynthia, Senate passes bills making lynching a federal crime by Eli Watkins. CNN updated December 19th. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, and I want to read more about that because I just don't get some of this stuff. Why, like, it should have been like the whole hate group thing and Ku Klux Klan and these hate groups, how they're protected. It's a whole nother live show. But let me try to get to everybody because I want to let you guys go soon. I did not end up talking about some of the migration stuff that's going on, but I'm going to make a video on it. So I hope you guys, if you have time to watch it, I'm going to take all that I had and make a video. There's stuff going on that we're not hearing about, and it's big shock. It's all sick and being normalized by white society and by the mainstream society. All right. Cynthia, the proposal outlines the specific act of lynching and a mob killing without legal authority and would add lynching to the federal list of hate crimes. I can't even believe it's not already, but yes, that's, I mean, at this point, to take what we can get, when the superiority or a sense of white entitlement happens, I think that the engage them into speaking to them is not, I'm not quite sure. Let me just read this again. When that superiority or a sense of white entitlement happens, I think that the engaging them in speaking to them is not getting it, but they need to be slapped. So physically, I don't know what you were trying to say exactly, Cynthia, but I love you. Get in line. I want to slap someone. I think everybody wants to slap someone. Cynthia, some physical touching. I know that it won't happen because the person of color would end up getting killed. Exactly. Yeah. But yes, I honestly, this is what I say to some people who, you know, some majority group members. We're just lucky that people in historically marginalized groups just want equality and not revenge. Because I'll tell you, how long do you allow just to be, you know, hurt and tortured and lied to and gaslighted and before you just snap? I don't know. I don't blame people. I don't condone it, but I don't blame them. Martin, I hear you, Kim. And now here is my secret, a very simple secret. It is only with the heart that one can see rightly. What is essential is invisible to the eye. Thank you. And Cynthia, Black people were and are accosted and do not resort to physically protecting ourselves. Thank you. Oh, I lost my space again. Oh, there we go. Cynthia, Trump has already reported that between Obama and Hitler, he would choose Hitler because he despises Obama that much. Well, of course he would. I truly believe Hitler, just from stuff I've read from his former wives who have now been silenced with his money. I got a conspiracy theory. He loves Hitler. I remember one in Vanity Fair, an interview saying that he has like his wars book by his bedside. I absolutely believe it. Let me see where we are. Cynthia, and then with the amount of information, the enormous amount of lies the man has told, over 5,000 lies since he's taken office, and he still has a support base. Unbelievable. It's the racism. I'm telling you, these people, and I don't know, I'm just making up stuff, but my take is these people have been waiting since the Civil War to find someone like Trump. It's their dream come true. We use food as a weapon too. We have food deserts and send our worst food and water to poor people. Absolutely. Anesthesia. Absolutely. And we also make sure that because of redlining, and we won't give out, because of all these governmental rules and legal things that were barbaric, making sure that people are forced to only be able to live in places that have no infrastructure, in places that have really, really difficult, no businesses want to put money into, so there's no jobs. And it's a nightmare. It's a vicious cycle of purposeful, cruel impoverishment. And then there's no grocery stores. And so the corner stores are expensive and they don't have health food. And I think that's kind of what yep. And he's batshit crazy. Sorry, not sorry. Anastasia. Yeah, that's like a nice way to put it. Cynthia, the Panama Papers showed how the filthy rich have hidden their money so they don't have to pay taxes to the tune of 52% of the United States while being hidden away by rich people. Yeah, we're finding out stuff that, yep, Martin, exactly, for Anastasia. I would love if this was a call-in thing that we could all just like kind of talk. I'll have to figure that out. That's what I need, is to move to another platform. Again, I'm already lame enough with when I move to a platform, my learning curve is not pretty, but let me see here. Did everyone hear that, Cynthia, did everyone hear that he wants to sue Saturday Night Live to stop, stop them from making fun of him? And we remember he made fun of the interviewers who had palsy. Yes, who had, he had a disorder. You know, here's this thing. This is why I think he has a personality disorder. Everything is sensitive for him, but for anyone else, he can do anything to anyone, but they can't do it back to him. He doesn't see the hypocrisy. He doesn't get it. I think he's very, very mentally ill. And I'm not just saying that because he's racist. It has nothing to do with his racism. That's like a whole side thing. Because I know saying somebody's mentally ill when they're racist is just a cop-out. And a lot of people really don't like that. But I think he really is. And his racism, he was raised a racist. I mean, but yeah. Yes, Cynthia, I heard that. And I was laughing my ass off. Let me see. YouTube is the way to go. I think this turned out great. Thank you, Martin. God, thank you so much, everybody. Oh, I got to the end of the comments, but almost. I'm going to just try to finish the end of the comments. I'm going to let everybody go. This means the world to me. Thank you so much for being here. And I want people to know what the people think. All the people, not just famous people, not just people who are wealthy and so rich that they can kind of like buy their way into. I want the people. We're the people. And I do interviews. If you know somebody who has a story to tell, I will interview them. And if they hate it, I'll throw it away. Integrity is everything. If you know someone I should connect with, if you know someone who needs help, I have a friend right now who has been horrifically abused by white supremacy, basically. And I'm going to be doing a GoFundMe for him. I rarely do that kind of thing, but this is the nicest man on the planet. And what he had done to him is unconscionable. So I'll be putting that out. I want to connect people and help. I want to help in any way I can. I'm going to try to get through these comments. Thank you, Martin, for saying that. Trump is, Martin, okay, that's to Cynthia. 2 children were attacked with ropes around their necks and the kid escaped. Yes, Cynthia, yes. And I'm going to post some. I can't. Yeah, I will. And also put on this thread, any information, put it on, keep talking. I'm going to, Cynthia, Trump has been shut. Yes, his immigration unlawful. I saw that today. For anyone who wasn't sure what we're talking about, he's trying to fight. He wants to basically, he is cruel. And that's going to be my video, Cynthia. I'm going to make a video, an educational video explaining why, just explaining the whole, why these people are coming here, how we, America, took part in destabilizing their nations. And once again, just like we refuse to take responsibility, white America refuses to take racial responsibility. Again, America refuses to take this much responsibility. That little girl who died of dehydration. I don't want to go there, but Cynthia, racism is mental illness. Martin, Cynthia, you are right. Okay, you are right. ACL has sued Trump several times in federal court and has stopped Trump and his policies many times, at least 5 times I can recall. And that is, I think, the court system. I was worried about the checks and balances has been our saving grace. Let me just make sure I got everybody. All right, I will finally shut up. Thank you from the bottom of my heart. If there is a bottom, I hope there's not a bottom, because I really, really want everybody to be okay. And we have to be better than this. If you truly believe, like I do, and you know I do, that it's way past time for white America to educate ourselves and take some racial responsibility. And if you believe in what I'm trying to do, please support me by getting your friends to join and watch, and hopefully they'll tell us through friends and so on and so on, so people will learn. It's a long process for white people. We need to start now, yesterday. All right. But anyway, thank you for bearing with me. We're going to have some pretty interesting stuff coming down. Okay. And for people who celebrate, happy holidays. And thank you so much for this. All right. And I'm going to figure out how to get off the air here. Thanks. Thank you to everybody. Pretty much have no clue what I'm doing. Let me see. And hopefully I will see you this coming Wednesday and many Wednesdays to come. Thanks. It says not yet.